So, okay. I invited him. Let me message him.
I think I almost shut my door. All right, I'm back.
Hey, Evan. Can't hear you.
Hello?
There you go.
All right.
Are you at your house?
No, I'm at another coffee shop.
You just coffee shop hop all day long.
I just coffee shop hop all day. It's actually pretty cool. I'm in Redwood City. Box's headquarters like right behind this
Oh, nice.
little white wall. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Did you make it public?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, so I'll work on the IPO.
Okay. So a couple things. First off, do you guys want to see my pretty camera for our Kickstarter?
Look at that.
It's a professional cinema camera, and I'm excited. I got all the equipment, lighting, and I think we're going to come visit you, Evan. Jack, you're a little far to drive to, but once I get the script written out, if it makes sense to have everyone in the video, we'll figure something out. But I think we're going to come out to Silicon Valley because I got to check on my house anyway, so it'll be a good trip to make.
Cool.
Yeah. So okay. So I think that. So first off, thanks to, I guess his name is Mark, Microsoft. I hadn't really looked into costs too much upfront for our current transfer rates, but now Jack has graciously gone through and did a detailed analysis, and we could spend for basically 30,000 students is going to cost upwards of $35,000 a month to maintain for video hosting costs. Now, with that being said, that's Amazon's pricing, and that's their base price, and they make deals with you. You can buy fixed pricing, which reduces the price if because you make guaranteed payments in advance instead of pay as you go. But also, I have some contacts, and there's some strategic partnerships that I can make, so I'm fairly certain that I can get a good 6 months to a year of free hosting. But but no matter what, at some point we're going to incur a cost, and I'm thinking based on the Amazon numbers, which is pay as you go. That's kind of more or less a max cost of what a student's going to cost us every month. Who watches? That's based on a student who watches 2 videos a day on average for a 30-day period of time. Considering all things, some might watch more, some might watch less. So we need to make sure that cost is covered with the significant profits that we need to receive. So what were you saying, Evan? I didn't read your message yet. I just noticed you said something. So let's talk about this. Can't hear you.
All right, sorry. So my first initial thought was that basically $3 per month is good, and I think the main point I want to drive home is we need to make sure that the content over the cost of the content is appropriated correctly, because I can see a scenario in which so $3 a month times 12 is $36 annual revenue per user pretty much, which is pretty high. And so I think the $15 a month that you're calculating out right now has something to do with the current prices and how they are, $15 course, $30 course, $50 course. And I think that's definitely going to change with this model.
Yep.
So however we decide to deploy the cost versus content, it needs to be, I think, padded enough to where we make a significant margin. Because yeah, if you have like 18 to 36 like mini courses, right? If they're like $1, $2 each, I don't know how many people are going to be blazing through that many courses. You know, if they're super long, or
Yeah.
if it takes them a month to get through, 2 months to get through. So that was just my initial thoughts.
Well, what it tells me, I agree, Evan. So what it tells me is having very big courses on the app is actually going to do us damage. I think the more we break them up, the better. Meaning we need people to continually make those micro purchases. Meaning, like selling a 40-hour course for $1.99 could put us in the hole. If it has 40 hours and they're watching it continually, I think we have to be careful about that. Because what I think is, those 2-hour courses, it's easy for someone to spend 99 cents or $1.99 multiple times, and then make it through that course in a few days, and then buy another one. Versus like my iOS 9 course, some students are still going through it, and they paid one time. They're watching videos over and over again. So I don't have the answers or anything like that. What I'm going to work on, Evan, is getting us free hosting for a year, so we can perfect our monetization system, so we're not just hemorrhaging money to figure out how to make money.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think that's a good idea.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I agree. I never really had thought about the cost being that large until you asked me to do that. And 350 megabytes of video on average, and 2 videos a day, it adds up. And I think the cost through Amazon with just using their pricing calculator was over $40,000. So
Per month.
Per month. It was a lot higher than I thought it would be. So that's definitely something we got to keep in mind.
Yep. So everybody, grab your Rolodexes and think about anyone you might know who knows somebody. I mean, this could be, we might stumble across a startup who does video hosting and they want to get their name out there. And I have some contacts I'm going to work with. And then once the Kickstarter's going, when we're raising money, it'll be even easier, I think, to get a partnership here. But for them, the costs aren't huge. If we can make a deal, the costs aren't huge for them if it's their service and we can do something mutually beneficial. And so we'll be creative. I'm not worried at all. It's a big number, can be scary. $40,000 a month. We're definitely not going to pay that, at least right in the beginning. So.
We have 10 million users.
Yeah.
We can afford that.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So, and what I was telling Jack is, we have options too. Worst case scenario. I know this sounds stupid, but people are doing it. Absolute case scenario. Absolute worst case scenario is making unlisted videos on YouTube to start off with, to prototype the model. Not ideal for sure, but there's even bare bones options if we are backed into a corner, which we won't be because we're creative and smart, and Evan's got amazing hair. So I think that we're good. Anyone else have thoughts on this specific matter?
Not right now, but I'll continue to.
Okay.
Talk.
I got you guys covered here. I'll do my best on this. This is my responsibility and job, but this is a serious issue and business problem that we have to overcome, and we'll do it smartly. So just keep it in your minds. Okay. The other thing is the website. I think we're all good to go, and I think the TAs like this too. We're going to make the Devslopes website the hub, the content hub now to go to whenever you want tutorials about anything related to development, videos, live streaming. This is going to be like the new place on the internet that you go to when you want to find unlimited amounts of resources, and you can interact with people in the community. I want to move the community there. And so here's my vision. Okay. Well, let me give you some backstory. An app like ours, okay. An app like ours, it needs to be we need to continually drive new people to it. And that's not always easy for applications. Like, for instance, Snapchat, how do you drive new users to Snapchat, or some of these other applications, you might have to do paid advertising, things like that. because there's not content. You know, in that article you're posting, Evan, you know, Pinterest was a good example because they've got content. Content drives user acquisition, drives revenues, drives everything. We have that. We are lucky enough to have a content-based system. So it is my belief that if we want to booster the amount of users in the app and have engaged people, that we continually produce free content, and that will drive people to the application, because that's where we'll send them. And so my vision is that devslopes.com, you go to that website, and we teach about, so we've got a series of professionals in our community, our TAs and others who might want to join, and they post articles about various things. New technologies, first off iOS and Android, then web, and we'll get we'll get React development, we'll get Ruby on Rails, we'll get Node, we'll get every subject and topic with professional posts on those subjects, and then so those will be easily accessible from the main website. And also, I want to do something new as well too. Is looking to having RTAs have live streams on our website, so people who come to the website can actually watch people coding on the spot. And this website will also have free videos, like YouTube videos and things like that, that I create or other people subsequently down the line. And so you go here, you get blog posts, you get video posts. It'll be much cooler than RayWenderlynch.com, and we won't have that nasty, ugly green that he just can't get rid of off of his website for some reason. And it looks like it was built in 1995. Oh shoot, this is being recorded. Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean it.
No one's watching.
No one's watching. We've got 0 viewers.
Well, I don't think we're broadcasting.
I am broadcasting.
Did we give the link?
I forgot to give the link. I suck at this, guys. Hold on. Let me give the link here. Event page. Oops.
Because Josh is gonna be like, what the heck?
Okay. Well, it is being recorded. Just no one's watching it live, so it will be on YouTube afterwards. Okay. So I envision all that there: videos, tutorials, live streaming video. Then here's the kicker. This is the coolest thing ever. Imagine also creating our community there, chat rooms, forums on this website, and you don't even have to have the app to have this. Now we can have the tutorial, we can have like the forums for the app on there, but it's all free. We make the community and all that stuff just completely free, and people can go on there. And these are just ideas, but I had this vision where you've got these general chat rooms for these subjects, and imagine people creating groups. Like, Evan, you're on there learning to code, and you meet some cool people, like happens in our chat room. I see it all the time. People make friends, and imagine if they could create their own little study group or learning group, and now they have their own group that they can, rooms that they can chat in with each other about coding and things like that, and it becomes a classroom online, completely free. And the reason why I feel like this would work is because our chat room's working, but also when I was learning how to code myself, there was no Stack Overflow, there was nothing on the internet. I was struggling, and one day I stumbled across an IRC chat room for Unity 3D when I was learning how to do Unity, and there was professional programmers on there, and they were giving me advice about everything. I'd ask questions, they'd give me help, and it was just this community-based effort, all for free, and I learned so much. And so imagine having this free community, just completely free. Everything's free on it, and of course at the top of the website it drives downloads to the apps. This website could be a huge deal, meaning like people, it may get millions and millions of users and like even like outperform the app. I mean, it's just hypothetical, but it could happen. And people want to pay advertising. People, I mean, these are future revenue opportunities, but like, you know, there's no one central hub that you go to for this just kind of free online classroom where you can get anything that you want. And of course, the courses that we have that you pay for are in the app, and they're well structured, and you know you actually get the learning material. So anyway, that's my vision after thinking it through, and floor's open for you guys to say whatever you want.
Let's do it.
Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, like you said, there's a lot of resources out there, but I think this could be like the go-to the go-to place, and like where you don't get flamed for asking like
Reddit.
just questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's really cool, and I really like the idea of bringing the online community to the website, and then maybe we can do something cool where like, because I know it gets a little scattered in Discord right now. People are like posting stuff in like different chat rooms. Maybe we can do some sort of like hashtag, that's like topic idea, kind of like the way Slack does it, or something like that where it's pretty easy, but it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, my thought is, imagine if we had developers who had followers. So you have
That's cool.
So all of us are live streaming, and not just development. I mean, we've got a video side of things. We've got a design side of things. Let's say Evan, Jack, and I, and Mark. We have 10,000 followers each on our own website. And then we say, hey, I'm doing a 10-minute video live tomorrow on how to do AWS Mobile Hub. And then all of a sudden you shoot that out to a bunch of your followers, and they all come in and join in. And you build this place where developers want to come because they want to have followers. And you get thought leaders to come over from different companies to not be a part of Devslopes company, but they stay at their own companies, but they come to Devslopes because they have a voice and they have followers. I don't know. It's just an idea.
So, just a quick question, because I haven't looked into this too much, but is there anything comparable like that out there where developers can kind of sort of have this following and this clout within a community?
The only thing that exists is like that, I think.
Live coding TV, they're trying to do that. Live coding, you go on there and watch. But people are boring, right? Live coding, that's gonna be hard to catch on. But we've got something special. We're fun. We're a little bit edgy. We make fun of Walmart and get Walmart couches and get flamed for it. We've got something that nobody else has. And I would almost say in a version 1 application, we don't necessarily build our own live streaming. Like we can have like an events section or who's streaming now, and it takes you to YouTube or whatever, because we just want to get it out. But I foresee that in the future, and just like Pearson said, we need to make it valuable for the people who are contributing to want to contribute. So if someone from like one of our TAs, if they do a post and people loved what they're teaching about, they can follow them, find their website. If someone wants to hire them, they're linked right to their website there. They can hire them, and it becomes a place where the more you contribute as a developer, the more opportunities you have. And this also makes it great for the Devslopes app. For instance, let's say we have a Ruby on Rails section, and Clint, like one of our TAs, Clint, he's the Ruby on Rails guy, I believe. And let's say he does awesome tutorials on it. Well, it lets us know as a team, like, hey, you know what? Let's consider having Clint make some videos that we can put into the app. And so it also gives us as a team with Devslopes in the app a pool of resources who we can bring into the company because we know them intimately well, and we can give them more opportunities. It's kind of like our little vineyard where we can prune from and gather the people who are fantastic and let them be part of something even more, and who are passionate. And so I think it's kind of this little ecosystem that serves each other. I don't know.
There's still a lot of topics out there too, where there's little code snippets here and there, but there's not a full-blown tutorial on it. Usually you can search around and find 4 or 5 different places and find enough code that you can eventually get it working, but a place like this would be something where people could make suggestions, and if we find a topic like that, have someone do a full-blown tutorial on it, and knock it out.
Descriptions, because a lot of times, like you're saying, Jack, you get these bits and pieces, and some people just, throw code out there and they don't explain why it's happening or what to do. And a big part of the blogging scene right now for coding is keeping it up to date. There's stuff I can find out there for iOS 8 on some products that I have, but we really have to keep it up to date. So whenever, that's another thing, is if we want to tackle something, we've got to make sure that it's up to date and that we're not falling behind, and so that we don't lead people to frustration. Because I've been frustrated several times when I think that I found the answer to something, and then all of a sudden I put it into Xcode, and it's like it's been deprecated. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Since 2002. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree, and especially coming from, I mean, I'm still like really new to it, but it's literally, I tell people it's like I'm learning the ABCs, trying to write like a Grapes of Wrath novel, and I'm literally grabbing code from the internet, throwing it in, and being like, hey, it kind of reads, and then like you put a period here and there, so keeping it up to date is huge.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're all kind of feeling this here. I had actually been thinking for quite a while, like, how do I drive people to the app? How do we build content? Do I just create a dumb blog? And then this just kind of fell together, and not only does this serve that purpose, but it becomes something more that never really been done in a great way. Like, it's very clear when you go to Ray Wenderlynch that they want you to buy their books, like spamming you with pop-ups, spamming you with this and that and that and that, and it's cool. And I will say, they suck as teachers. Like, they really do. Like, it's one thing to be smart as a coder, but to be a teacher and to actually communicate effectively. So what I get to do is I get to inject the Devslopes way into all of our posts. You guys got to do it this way, and it's got to be taught in this type of manner because it has to be effective. And we don't want to just be these guys who spit whatever comes in our brain and nobody understands it. I've been through Ray Wenderlynch's tutorials and other ones, and they're hard to digest sometimes. You know, they're not the easiest. So we have that advantage. Anyway, version 1. I just want to talk about version 1 because once you have designs for version 1, I will pull the trigger and get this going right away. And basically, I'm thinking for version 1, okay, we have a place for posts and tutorials. So you go to the main screen, we should be able to easily find, any user should be able to easily find the latest and greatest tutorials and write-ups. Okay? Secondly, the user should be able to easily find the place to go where you can chat. I don't know how it works. I honestly have no idea. And we'll build a custom chat room if we have to. I am sure there's open source things out there that we can get our hands on and just inject right into our system. So I want chat in there. And then as far as forums go, like, maybe we need to rethink it, but people do like to post and get answers to those posts, chosen answers, you know, like this is the selected answer, like Stack Overflow. And I don't know, Evan, how to best approach that, but when people have problems in the app, okay, in our apps, it would be nice to have a place to go to get answers to those questions. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and here's another point of discussion. There's also the notion of, like, for instance, on the Mac app and the iPhone app, we later build in chat into the app, and we later also build in the forums. Now, I was thinking, should that be separate? Like, should the app have its own forums and chat room, which it could, or does this website have all the community stuff there, and that's where you go? I don't necessarily know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either, but I think it's definitely something to think about.
I will say that if we do keep the chat rooms and we have special forums in the app just for our courses, it's easy for me to bring on formal TAs. And this was an app feature I was thinking about, Evan. If let's say you post into the forums in the app because you need help, you can actually pay money to have your post prioritized and get an answer from a TA within like 24 hours. So like, I pay 100 coins, and I know for a fact this TA is going to answer my question within 100 hours or within 24 hours. I believe people would pay coins for that.
Absolutely, I love that. Wow, that's perfect.
And you know what's funny is they would pay for it and they'd get the help and be happy about it. Whereas right now in my chat room, like, if someone doesn't get our help fast enough, they rant and they rave and they're angry. And this is all free right now. We're doing it for free. But if somebody pays for it, and we do it within 24 hours, they're going to be even more happy than they are right now with the lack of service that we can't provide because there's so many questions. So maybe it does make sense to keep everything on the website just in the context of the website, and then in the app keep everything with the context of the app. You know what? Maybe version 1, Evan, is just a chat room. Maybe version 1 is just a chat room on the website, and ability to look at latest posts and latest videos. There's going to be videos too, like, because I'm going to post YouTube videos. People want to see videos. I'm gonna get that up there. So maybe that's a good version 1, and of course links to our apps.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll start looking at this kind of stuff. And if I think of any more ideas that we can throw into version 1, I'll let you know.
Yeah, version 1 should, because we want to launch with the app, right? So maybe we really do keep it slim with just the chat room. I do want to get a chat room on there because I know there's some open source tools that we can find and get it in quickly. So think about chat room, a good experience. Imagine if there was 50,000 students that were active. Are we going to want all those people in one giant global chat room? Like, I don't know the answers to these questions.
Yeah.
But this is a unique system that nobody else has. You can't go and get live help on Ray Wenderlund. You can't go and get live help on, what are those other ones? Scotch.io, some of these other companies.
Well, you can, in the sense of you post a question at the bottom of their blog.
Well, in a discussion post, right?
Exactly, but it's not live help.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, the other thing, too, that really resonated with me that you guys pointed out is if there's a way to, like, if I'm going through the iOS 9 course and then I run into a problem, I can go to this forum and the top voted answer for that specific question in the forum, like, everything's organized. Like, right now, Udemy is just kind of like, post it somewhere in the ether, and then the instructor will get back to you. Discord is like you got to scroll through like 80,000 messages. So some sort of organized, upvoted systems is really cool. So
whatever you want to do, I'll put it in your hands. This is your baby now. You've adopted it, and we'll build it. With that in mind, Evan, there are some open source forums and open source chat stuff that I'm sure we can modify and implement. And so whatever your brain can think of for version 1, like what must absolutely launch with the app. And we do have TAs that are ready to make posts, and so they're even writing. There are some of them are even already writing tutorials in Markdown, ready to be reviewed and put on the website. So we'll definitely want those tutorials up for sure, and anything else you can think of.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then maybe I don't know. I sat in a little bit on the TA meeting, but maybe what we can do is figure out like what material that we want to launch with, make sure that we have all of those pieces in place for the launch, and then kind of work our way backwards to this time frame. It's like, okay, what do we need to have written out and ready as far as content-wise when we launch to? Just another thought.
Say that again. What are you saying?
So basically, like, maybe we should think about what kind of content we want to launch with in the beginning.
Launch with the actual content that we want prepared.
Yeah, like the post and the tutorials, so we can prepare the TAs accordingly. Okay. This is what we're looking for to fill by, like July 1st.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I can put that list together and get community feedback too. In fact, we'll talk to the TAs and see what they want to do. And we will be limited to, I guess what I'm saying is TAs will be very motivated to post things that they want to post about, like they've done something cool in their code and they want to show what they've done. So I don't want to take that away from them as well. But it would be nice also to have some solid content to start with.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. So I'll get cranking on this. And then if you guys have anything, because you guys have been in the development trenches way longer than I have, if there's any websites or forums that you've came across through your career that you're like, man, this really helped me out, I love the way they did.
Oh, we lost him.
Dang coffee shop.
Hey, at least look, we got a GQ frozen frame of him. Oh, there he is.
Hello? Did I cut out?
You're back. You're back.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard, but if there's anything that you've came across in your development career as far as community, forums, chat rooms, little things that you liked or enjoyed that's helped you, shoot them my way and I'll dig
Dude, there's nothing. Everything sucks.
Devslopes.com was pretty good.
For real, like, you have to go to a bajillion different websites to get everything you can think of. Or, like, for instance, like right now, if I want to go to a chat room, I've got to go find, like, for instance, Salt Lake City has an iOS developers Slack chat room with a few hundred people in it. I got to go find that, and then I got to get approved by an admin, and it's a big process, and now I'm like a very involved member of the, I mean, I'm a member of the community now because they know my name, but you know, there was too much commitment for that, and you know, otherwise you got to go find tutorials. Like you search the internet, you find a tutorial.
Well, and then you go on Stack Overflow and get reamed.
And then Stack Overflow
Yeah.
or Reddit, and you get reamed and killed
if
by
it's not
people.
scientific, if your question isn't scientific,
Yeah.
they're like, "You're a moron. Why are you even coding?" It's like, well, when did you start?
Your question was marked inappropriate.
Yeah,
Closed.
it's like, oh, what? Was I naked on there or something? What?
That's off topic.
I posted
So,
a
yeah.
of
Yeah.
myself, so that's why, you know.
Sorry, I had one more thing that just popped in my head that I thought about. So a huge thing for me in the beginning was like finding the right question to ask, right? And so I mean, like obviously, I know what I want to do. I want to have this screen pop up into the view controller, but it took me like a whole day of Googling to find the actual right wording of the phrase to ask to get to the answer. So what I thought would be cool, I don't know if this is a V1 thing, but or you know further down the line, but something where we implement like a smart question or like some sort of like contextual question to where someone can say like in plain English, how do I do this? And then we're able to pull up the relevant information without them having to spend a whole day, you know, like, oh, I got to learn about GDC and I got to learn about.
Jack's gotta go, Evan. Just sorry to cut you off. See you, Jack.
Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.
I see what you're saying, Evan.
So what if even to go one step further and have like the community list as they go along every question that they're asking, and then we go through and have like TAs or whatever go through, and then we make a even make like a scraper to go through and find the most common type of question, and then we actually have a list of questions on the side that says, how do I do this? And then they click on that question and it takes them to the result.
That's brilliant.
I love that.
This is the problem with the internet. This is the problem with Ray Renderlynch, right? Devslopes knows how to educate people. We know how to take the tools and help you be successful.
Because we will learn.
Why can't that be on a website? Like, you know, why do I have to search and not even know what I'm looking for? Like that makes so much sense to build the site and design it in a way that it's actually helpful for people with the most common questions and issues. That's really, really smart. I love it.
Sweet. Yeah, that would have saved me like a good 40 hours a month.
Yeah, imagine if you're a student and there's like, okay, there's like this comprehensive view, right, on the web, and there are these sweet little, you know, boxes that have the rounded edges or whatever. And on one it says, you know, view controller questions. On the other one it says UI image questions, you know, all this other stuff, and then they click on that and they're like, yeah, my question's concerning this topic. They click on that, it takes them into another view which has other, and then they have individual questions. What are the three required functions in the table view controller protocol? You know, or you know, make it simpler than that. But you know what I mean. Just have those specific, and then it just goes deeper and deeper. You know, you have the broad question where they start as a student. You're like, okay, this is where my problem is in the view controller. I don't know what question to ask, and they go in there and they're like, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Go to that question. You know.
No, exactly. That's perfect. And
so that way they don't have to type at all. So they never have to type anything, because when you start having to type, then you're relying on them knowing exactly what to type.
you're right. You're just shooting in the dark at that point. You're kind of like, ah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I thought of like a kind of more concrete example too. Like when I was trying to figure out how to do like an overlay for fount, basically like an overlay. The only word I started with was overlay. So I typed in overlay, and then it gave me a bunch of stuff. Then I learned about modal versus this, and then so I'm hopscotching through these words, and I'm starting to string things together. But if there's something where we can say like, how do I make an overlay, like in plain English, and then be like, well, hey, did you know that it's actually called this? Or you want to like add a subview? Here's more about subviews, and just kind of like go
proper terms.
there.
Proper terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start out with terms that a student would use, like how do I put this button? How do I add an image to this? And it's like, well, that's the layman term, right? That's the question students would ask, and then it would pop up and say, oh, you want to add a subview to this image view, and it's like, yeah, I do, you know, and so they start learning how to talk and how to speak and how to ask.
Exactly. That's perfect. So I think I really like your idea, Pearson, where there's some sort of curated process where the TAs go through, or we go through, and like kind of scrape the data, transform it into something, place them in buckets, and then from there, you know, we can send it out to the world. But
exactly, and that's a tool that no one has. I guarantee you, no one else has that kind of a tool. Imagine if you were like searching the internet for something, and all of a sudden, this tool popped up, and they were like, they saw every topic that they had a question on, and they're just like, oh my gosh, this is glorious, you know.
it's like the Microsoft Word paperclip where it's like, hey, I noticed you're looking to write a resume.
we should put that in the app, the little paper clip.
Yeah, like, hey, it looks like you're trying to make a table view. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I love that.
So do you feel like you have enough to start making designs for version 1?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll probably have more questions as I like dig deeper into it, but to get a basic flow structure going. Yeah.
What I'm going to do also is this video is being recorded, and so I'm going to send the link to the TAs after it's recorded, and the ones who want to be involved in this project, ask them to watch this conversation to see where we're going with direction. And then they can, as you create designs and stuff, they can give appropriate feedback and insights and things like that. So we're all on the same page. And secondly, I wanted to ask you guys something. I'm going to start really focusing on this Kickstarter now that I have everything I need. And so development on the app for me is going to slow down. And so I guess my question is, Pearson's chugging along and Jack's chugging along. Does it make sense for us to bring on another developer right now to keep progress going on it? Or should we just focus on the Kickstarter, let it get out, and then bring someone on at that point in time to start pushing out the app, putting more time on the app? I'm losing time of day. I can't give the appropriate time the app needs in the code, and I just want to see what you guys think.
Well, do you want to go first, Evan?
No, you go ahead. Okay.
Well, my thought is, I'm kind of torn because we bring on somebody right now, and we could do production really quickly, or we can get it done quicker because we have that 4-month span that we wanted to get V1 done in, right? On the other hand, and on top of that I guess the first question is there stuff that we can do to help the Kickstarter along to get that process done? Because if not, then yeah, I say bring on somebody else to replace you to do it. If not, we could like all hands on deck, get this Kickstarter out, and then it benefits everybody, and then we bring someone on and finish it quick.
Kickstarter, I got it covered. We'll get it done fast. I'm not worried about that. I guess the real question is, do we want to hit this 4-month timeline right now without any delays, or because we know the Kickstarter is at least going to get funding to move us forward? Like, I guess what I'm saying is I don't mind losing a month or getting behind a month in lieu or regard of the Kickstarter. But the question is, but I could bring someone right now. There's some students who are very eager to jump on this project who are very skilled. I've been talking with them, and we can make more progress on the app right now and make great strides on it. The Kickstarter's not out yet. And I mean, there might not even be a downside to that, but I don't know.
What do you think, Evan?
I mean, I guess I would really defer to you guys and Jack on this as far as the development. I think it might not hurt to wait a little bit to see like how the Kickstarter is going and like how we progress in the app. Yeah, and maybe just see like maybe there's some other things that we're gonna uncover in the next month, and so maybe we can reassess it in the next month. But I think it's good that you have that foresight
I just want to make
I don't
sure
know.
'cause that's my feeling, and I just want to make sure you guys, aren't frustrated or upset if we get a little bit delayed with the actual app, because in the beginning of the app, we didn't even talk about the Kickstarter, but because of the big community, everything that was going on, it made sense to do this and really push it out. So I'm okay losing, probably no more than 30 days, but I'm okay losing 30 days on the production of the app because of the Kickstarter, because if it's successful, or when it's successful, because it will be, we can accept new opportunities, and we might be able to rethink things and how we're doing it. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think my knee-jerk reaction is to kind of wait and see how the Kickstarter pans out, or at least so we can kind of begin to see how it's going to pan out, and then maybe there's a use case to bring someone else on, and we may look at it in a different light. But yeah, I don't know.
Let's do that. So I tried coding on the app last night, and I may throw some code here and there, but I'll use my main coding responsibilities as peer reviewing Jack and Pearson's code and helping them out. Whereas I'll put the remainder of my time into this Kickstarter, making it fantastic. Doing the CEO thing so we can get the money and get the partnerships, all those things. We can't afford to not do those things. So I think that's the way we'll do it.
Sounds great.
Cool.
And Vincent's on board, creating a contract for him. He's going to help us grow the Kickstarter. Seems excited about it. And so that's going for us too.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks for connecting us.
Go Fount.
Is he a partner
Yeah.
or something with you?
What's that?
Is he your partner at Fount?
Yeah. We both worked at Nissan together, decided we want to start something, and both quit our jobs after a while.
Well, I'll tell you what, Evan, this is totally hypothetical, bogus talk, but let's say Devslopes gets millions of users. Honestly, the app itself could use a system like Fount, because people need to make connections. They need to get jobs. What you're doing there has a lot of merit to what we're doing here. So, if this goes big, I think we'll have some aligned opportunities. We'll see.
Yeah, let's take over the world. I love it.
Cool. I feel good about this. We'll defer to you for designs, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. And just I had a quick question. I don't know if you wanted to stop the recording, so you can